Ho, brothers. Welcome to the Lone Thinker channel. The most dangerous man is the one who does not want approval, does not require attention, and can go without looking back. Think about it for a second. In a culture preoccupied with Instagram likes, countless selfies, and the search for affirmation, a small group of guys refuse to play the game. Enter the Sigma male, a mystery wrapped in independence with a hint of defiance. These dudes are walking paradoxes. They do not chase or boast, but they attract attention wherever they go. The kicker, according to research, is that persons who do not comply with society's standards are frequently seen as dangerous. Imagine you're a modern woman navigating the emotionally turbulent dating scene, only to meet a man who is resistant to your charm, social clout, or subtle power maneuvers. For many people, this isn't just bothersome, it's downright frustrating. And, let's be honest, nothing is more disturbing than someone who doesn't blink at your best selfie or cares about your TikTok influence. Why do Sigma males elicit such strong feelings in 97% of modern women? Spoiler alert, it isn't because they're jerks. It's because they disregard the unstated norms. Let's dig in and discover why these men are both envied and hated, all while enjoying their coffee in utter silence. Number 1. They do not chase, rather, they watch. Sigma males don't waste their energy chasing after anyone, which takes most women completely off guard. In a culture where being chased is frequently viewed as a measure of desirability, a man who refuses to play that game comes as a shock to many. Instead of jumping in with extravagant gestures or effusive flattery, a Sigma takes a step back, observes, and assesses. He isn't captivated by superficial beauty or theatrical charm. Instead, he seeks to comprehend the underlying layers of who someone truly is. This deliberate approach might be disturbing for women. Women who are accustomed to being the center of attention find Sigma's distant approach foreign and even annoying. He is not striving to impress or be validated. Instead, he studies behavior, demeanor, and ideals, discreetly determining if someone fits within his universe before making any overtures. This makes every contact with him feel like a test, not because he's playing games, but because he is truly picky about who has access to his energy. What's more surprising is that this isn't arrogance. Sigma isn't playing hard to get or attempting to manipulate. He just knows what he wants and would not accept anything less. This causes women to question themselves in ways they may not have before. Why doesn't he react? Why isn't he trying so hard to impress? The fact is that Sigmas view the world differently. They don't chase since they don't have to. They are content on their own and will only engage if someone actually interests them. While this may irritate individuals accustomed to rapid praise, it is also why a Sigma's attention, when given, seems so precious and significant. It's earned, not given away. Number 2, they are resistant to emotional manipulation. Sigma males are essentially immune to emotional manipulation, which is a dilemma for anybody who uses it to get their way in today's dating market. Emotional games have become the default strategy: guilt trips, playing hard to get, or instilling envy to keep someone interested. But Sigmas do not fall for it. They see these approaches for what they are: efforts to control, not connect. When they feel manipulation, they disconnect as if it were second nature. The capacity to avoid emotional traps is more than simply intelligence. It is also about self-esteem. A Sigma male recognizes his own value and refuses to get drawn into someone else's drama. He will not dispute over petty matters only to maintain the peace, and he will not be forced to make judgments he disagrees with. To him, emotional manipulation is not a sign of passion or love. Rather, it is a red flag, and he treats it accordingly. For women who are accustomed to these strategies operating flawlessly, dealing with a Sigma is like striking a brick block. They try to incite conflict, anticipating a furious reaction, but are met with quiet indifference. Sigmas don't yell, plead, or play mental games. This lack of emotional openness is perplexing and, frankly, frustrating. What's worse is that they're avoiding manipulation not out of fear of conflict, but because they see no benefit in it. Sigmas speak logically and authentically, with no room for emotional manipulation. To some, this feels like rejection, but to a Sigma, it's simply being honest to themselves. Nothing upsets someone more than discovering that their go-to techniques don't work on someone who refuses to play the game at all. Number 3, they value purpose above relationships. Sigma males live with an unwavering sense of purpose, which comes before anything else, even relationships. For modern women who have been raised to believe that they should be the center of a man's life, this thinking can be offensive. However, for Sigmas, it is not about rejecting others. It is about remaining loyal to themselves and their role in life. Sigmas are wired differently. They do not regard relationships as the major source of fulfillment or identity. While most individuals are taught to look for a spouse who completes them, Sigmas do not buy into this story. Their driving factors are their objectives, aspirations, and self-development, and partnerships serve to supplement, rather than replace, that basis. This does not imply that they are incapable of love or connection. They just approach it on their own terms, without jeopardizing their particular path. For some women, freedom might feel like alienation. They may see it as cold or unfeeling, when in fact it is only a reflection of the Sigma's priorities. He's not the sort to drop everything to prove his commitment, and he won't give up his aspirations to make others happy. Some people find this mix of self-reliance and focus inspirational, while others find it disconcerting. What actually distinguishes Sigmas is that they do not apologize for their approach. They're not playing hard to get or trying to be mysterious. They honestly value their purpose above all else, and that's the source of the confusion. Women who desire to feel like the center of their world frequently find it difficult to accept that he has created a cosmos in which no single individual, not even a love partner, holds such power. To the Sigma, love is genuine, but purpose always comes first. Number 4, they do not worship the social script. Sigma males do not conform to society's expectations, which is what drives contemporary women crazy. In today's environment, there is an underlying assumption that individuals, particularly guys, will follow certain rules, compliment at the appropriate moment, share a beautiful couple of selfies, and show the world you're in this together. However, Sigma males function on their own terms. They're not interested in spectacular shows or public performances. They're not interested in fashionable topics, hashtag connections, or demonstrating anything to anyone. For many modern women, disregarding traditional conventions comes as a surprise. There is comfort in regularity. When a guy adheres to the social script, it feels comfortable, manageable, and even controlling. But a Sigma? He pulls that comfort apart by refusing to play along. He will not pretend to be interested in superficial trends in order to fit in. He will not worry about power couple ambitions or compete in the game of appearances, and he will not let cultural standards define how he should behave, think, or live. This freedom is both intriguing and frustrating. Fascinating because it is unusual to watch someone live so unashamedly on their own terms, yet irritating since it leaves little possibility for control or influence. To a Sigma, the world is noise, and he chooses when and where to engage. He avoids the game not because he is unable to play it, but because it has no meaning for him. For women who are used to males seeking praise or going out of their way to please, this approach is very disconcerting. They couldn't understand how someone could be so unconcerned about societal conventions while also controlling so easily. It is not arrogance. Rather, it is the confidence of someone who has completely opted out of the system. That kind of independence is a form of power that most people do not realize. Number 5. They cannot be humiliated into submitting. Shame has always been a tool used by society to keep individuals in check, but Sigma males are immune to its effects, which drives people insane. They work on a level that is independent of cultural norms, making it nearly hard to shame or coerce into conformity. For modern women, who rely on social cues or communal judgment to drive conduct, a Sigma's immunity to shame is like striking a stone wall, one that doesn't budge no matter how hard you push. A Sigma doesn't care about what others think of him since his self-worth isn't related to external validation. It makes no difference if you label him unusual or arrogant or try to cast him as the villain. He understands who he is and is steadfast in his convictions. This unwavering confidence is not arrogance. Rather, it is a refusal to let conventional conventions influence his decisions, whether they be about his lifestyle, ideals, or even how he interacts in relationships. He stays unapologetically genuine. For women who are used to employing subtle guilt trips or societal criticism to influence a man's conduct, this lack of reaction is frustrating. A Sigma will not apologize for not adhering to the script. He will not bend over backward to meet someone's expectations or feel terrible about refusing to play by the rules. The more someone attempts to shame him into compliance, the more distant he gets. This dynamic generates a power battle in which standard control measures are ineffective, which is not only irritating but also terrifying. A guy who cannot be embarrassed is uncontrollable. For many, this is a challenge to the social order. Yet, for a Sigma, it is only a result of living life on his own terms. Number 6. They do not respond to FOMO, fear of missing out. Sigma males are resistant to the social virus known as FOMO, or fear of missing out. While the rest of the world is obsessed with trendy vacations, designer labels, and viral social media moments, Sigma males are completely unconcerned. Their refusal to play the comparison game distinguishes them, but it also makes them perplexing and, at times, unrelatable to modern women, who frequently use these markers to assess success and desirability. Life isn't about gaining clout or validation for a Sigma. They value internal goals and personal accomplishments over the approval of others. They won't hurry to publicize their every step online or build a life that seems dazzling from the outside. This lack of interest in status symbols or public opinion is not a rebellious act. It is just how things work. Sigmas place a higher importance on quiet successes than public praise, which can be confusing for those who rely on outward affirmation. For modern women accustomed to living their best lives for the world to see, Sigma's lack of interest in this game might feel strange. He is unimpressed with a luxurious lifestyle or a social calendar jam-packed with elite activities. He will not indulge in the subtle flexing that has grown commonplace for many. Instead, he focuses on what actually important to him, whether it's pursuing a particular interest, creating something worthwhile, or simply finding peace. This divergence results in a strong contrast. While many people seek the next great thing to avoid feeling left behind, Sigmas prefer to stay in their own lane. This self-assured detachment may come out as dismissive or even dull to some, but for those who understand the big picture, it's a welcome reminder that true success does not require an audience. Number 7. They are proof that the rules are a lie. Sigma males are live proof that the so-called norms of success, attractiveness, and respect are really societal constructions used to keep individuals in line. They don't follow the established rules, and it's this disobedience that confuses modern women. The concept that a guy might be successful, respected, and wanted without pursuing the traditional path calls into question everything they've learned about what makes a man appealing. Sigmas don't want to disobey the rules. They simply don't recognize them in the first place. This unconventional attitude to life contradicts the reasoning that women have been indoctrinated to accept from an early age. Many people are encouraged to search for males who match a specific profile: the charismatic leader, the high-status provider, or the confident extrovert. Sigmas, on the other hand, do not fit into any of these categories, and this fact alone undermines women's perceptions of males. They are successful in their own right, whether through entrepreneurship, creative pursuits, or personal development, but they don't need to brag about their accomplishments or follow the traditional path to get there. The allure of the Sigma male is a puzzle that conventional standards cannot solve, eliciting confusion, envy, and even outright resentment. Women who can interpret or manage the Sigma typically end up feeling intimidated. He's the person who defies every cliché and still draws attention without trying. The rules state that he should be a loner or an outsider, but in actuality, he is charismatic and self-sufficient, representing achievement without the approval of others. That's what makes him so hard to nail down and ultimately, so appealing. Number 8. They refuse to be corrected or changed. For many women, partnerships are viewed as a joint effort in which both partners evolve and change together. Some even regard them as a project, believing they can mold, edit, or enhance their spouse into the person they want them to be. Enter the Sigma man, whose resistance to be shaped or transformed completely alters the plot. Self-awareness and integrity are non-negotiable for him, and he isn't interested in adapting to someone else's vision or demands. This may be very upsetting for women who feel that partnerships are the ideal opportunity to bring out a man's best self as they define it. Sigma males do not avoid relationships, but they join them with the unwavering belief that they will remain loyal to themselves. Unlike males who comply or compromise in order to preserve peace, Sigmas recognize their value and remain true to their primary ideas. They aren't going to alter solely to please someone or to conform to someone else's ideal of who they should be. This is not about stubbornness or reluctance to change. It is about being real. They embrace progress and personal evolution, but it needs to be on their terms, not because someone determined they needed to be different. This unshakable self-assurance may be both fascinating and irritating. Women who believe they can convince, coach, or mold their spouse into the best version of themselves may find the Sigma's inflexibility frustrating. There is no place for manipulation, guilt trips, or subtle suggestions. They know what they want and will not allow anyone to modify their screenplay. It's a dynamic that leaves some women feeling weak, unable to wield the authority they once had, and that powerlessness is frequently what makes the Sigma male so appealing and tough to deal with. Number 9. They are mysterious but not flirty. People are naturally drawn to mystery, but the Sigma male is mysterious not to be seduced, but because he treasures his solitude and lives on his own terms. Unlike other guys who may be coy or generate intrigue to pique attention, the Sigma does not need to engage in premeditated flirting or mind games. He isn't interested in being validated or the focus of attention. His mystery isn't a show, it's just who he is. This may be both exciting and frustrating for modern women who are used to flirting, teasing, and dropping clues to get a man's attention. Sigma's private character does not imply a lack of charisma or charm. Rather, he expresses it on his own terms. He won't drop hints or put on an act to indicate his desire, leaving women wondering whether he's even mildly interested in them. The concept that a man may be interesting without appearing like he's auditioning for a role might be difficult to grasp. Women who are used to being chased or having their charm rewarded may find this extremely challenging. Their normal tactics, compliments, friendly teasing, or intentionally relayed anecdotes meant to elicit a reaction, fail miserably. He doesn't participate in flirting because he doesn't need to, and he has no desire to play games. This absence of purposeful flirting might be annoying to women who thrive on the give and take of social signs. The Sigma male's mystery leaves a hole that's hard to fill, generating an aura of fascination that no amount of effort can penetrate. While the confusion is alluring, it also makes him feel elusive and unapproachable. That's what distinguishes him. He doesn't follow the rules of attraction, which is exactly what drives people crazy. Number 10. They don't care about impressing others. Sigma males represent the concept of living life on their own terms, and this philosophy extends to their attitude to attraction. While most men go to great lengths to highlight their accomplishments, display fancy possessions, and construct a social media presence that dazzles, Sigma males do not. They do not bother about impressing others since their affirmation comes from within. If a worn-out sweatshirt or denim pants make them feel comfortable, they'll wear it regardless of who is looking or what anyone thinks. This isn't about being irresponsible or sloppy, it's about being undeniably honest. It's a type of silent resistance against a culture preoccupied with image and prestige. Modern women, who are accustomed to males attempting to win them over with big gestures, excellent resumes, or glamorous looks, may interpret this indifference as arrogance. Sigma male's resistance to seeking acceptance, as well as his lack of reliance on external validation, make him difficult to decipher and much tougher to persuade. While some women may find this unconcerned attitude appealing, others perceive it as a direct challenge to their knowledge of how attraction works. The Sigma male's confidence stems from his sense of self rather than his ability to impress others, and that is precisely what distinguishes him, an aura of mystery that may be alluring to some and frustrating to others. In a world where the playbook for attraction and relationships is tired and predictable, The Sigma male stands out as an anomaly that defies convention. He is neither the brave leader, the attractive social butterfly, or the stereotypical alpha man. He's unique, a mystery wrapped in confidence, independence, and a steadfast dedication to his own path. And it is just this that makes him so disturbing to modern women who are accustomed to control, predictability, and the typical dating dynamics. The Sigma male does not seek approval, does not follow the script, and is unaffected by cultural pressures. His worth stems from inside, not from outward praises or the acceptance of others. That's what distinguishes him and causes others to respect and detest him in equal measure. He demonstrates that there is another way to be, an uncommon, appealing, but misunderstood one. It's not that he's unapproachable or uninterested, he's simply more careful about who he interacts with. For ladies looking for someone both seductive and unpredictable, he's a challenge that keeps them wondering. But for those who want the known and predictable, he's a mystery that might be more infuriating than appealing. The Sigma male serves as a reminder that attraction does not have to adhere to the same old laws. Sometimes the person who remains true to himself, refuses to conform, and exemplifies authenticity catches our attention the most. And in a world of loudness and posturing, that is what distinguishes the Sigma male as not unique but unforgettable. If you like these insights into the mysterious world of Sigma males, be sure to check out more thought-provoking stuff that delves into what makes people genuinely distinctive and memorable. Subscribe to the channel and become part of a community that isn't scared to question the conventional and welcome the unusual. Hit the notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content that will keep you captivated, informed, and inspired. Don't simply watch, join the conversation. Subscribe now to stay ahead of the curve. Goodbye for now, and see you in the future video.